Good morning everybody, and in the last class I have told you about group theory and I have told you the definition of group theory also. Definition of group: a non-empty set G is said to be a group if it satisfies the four axioms under the binary operation dot. The first axiom was closure axiom, second one is associative, third one is identity, then inverse. Always remember, first identity then inverse, not first inverse then identity. It will be a contradiction. Okay, so what is your closure axiom? If x and y are to any two elements of the group G, then x dot y also belongs to G. And what is the associative axiom? If x, y, z are any three elements of the group G, then x dot y dot z is equal to x dot y dot z. Okay, and for identity axiom, that means I have told you it is the existence of identity. Existence of identity means for every x belongs to G, there exists E belongs to G. What is E? E is the identity. Call the identity element of G such that x dot E is equal to E dot x is equal to x. And what is the inverse axiom? For every x belongs to G, there exists y belongs to G such that x dot y is equal to y dot x is equal to E. Here y is the inverse of x. Clear? And these are the four axioms for group. Clear? And today I am going to tell you, or I will prove it, the cancellation law. And cancellation law is for all ABC belongs to G, A into B. I am taking the operation as multiplication. A into B is equal to A into C implies B is equal to C. This is left cancellation. And in B2, BA is equal to CA implies B is equal to C, and this is right cancellation law. Okay, so let us prove these two laws. Okay, simply remember the axioms and apply in a systematic way. And remember, this is a paper in which you should apply in a systematic way. You should apply the axioms in a systematic way. Clear? See here, the first axiom, it is we have to prove AB is equal to AC implies B is equal to C. Clear? A into B is equal to A into C implies B is equal to C. You have to prove this one. So let us prove. It is very easy. Since first of all, since A belongs to G implies A inverse also belongs to G, because in group theory inverse axiom is there. Since A is an element of G, so A inverse must be an element of G. Clear? Now A into B is equal to A into C. On both sides, A is on the left hand side of B. So you should pre-multiply A inverse, not post-multiply. You should pre-multiply A inverse. So pre-multiply A inverse to both the sides. Clear? I am not writing the properties here because in the notes I will give you. So I am only telling you, you should write here pre-multiplying A inverse to both the sides. So then apply the associative axioms. A inverse into E, A into B, you will A inverse into A into C by associative property. Okay? Now A inverse into A, it is E, inverse axiom. A inverse into A, it is E. E into B, it is also E, E into C. So this is the inverse axiom. Now apply the identity axiom, because E into something is equal to something. So E into B must be equal to B and E into C must be equal to C. It is identity axiom. Hence our proof is done. Okay. Now let us prove the second one. Same way, BA is equal to CA implies B is equal to C. It is right cancellation law. And same way, since A is an element of G, implies A inverse belongs to G by inverse axiom. Clear? Now BA is equal to CA, it is given, and you should post multiply A inverse. You should post multiply A inverse to both the sides. BA into A inverse is equal to CA into A inverse. Clear? Again apply the associative property. A into A inverse is equal to C into A inverse. So it implies A into A inverse is E by inverse axiom. So B into E is the identity. So C into E, it is by inverse axiom. Then apply the identity axiom. B into E is equal to B and C into E is equal to C by identity axiom. Hence we have proved. Clear? So do the proofs in a systematic way, and you should write the properties here. Okay. Unless you write the properties, you will not get a mark in the exam. Clear? And if you write the properties, automatically the axioms, it will be memorized. Okay. So another very important point, the identity element in a group G is unique. Let us prove this one. The identity element in a group G is unique. I will do the proof in two ways, and you can do by any means. Okay, see here. First of all, for uniqueness, you should take, let there be two identity elements, E and E dash. And finally, you have to prove E is equal to E dash. Uniqueness means one and only one. One and only one. For example, multiplicative identity is 1 in real number. Clear? So, if you multiply 1 to any number, to any real number A, the answer will be 1. And there is no other identity element in case of real number, multiplicative identity. Clear? So, in this way, if G is a group, then the identity element should be unique. And in that case, how to prove this one? So, let there be two identity elements, E and E dash, and finally you have to prove E is equal to E dash. Okay. So, let E and E dash be two identity elements. Clear? And you have to prove E is equal to E dash. So, let A belongs to G. Clear? So, since E is the identity, therefore A dot E is equal to E dot A is equal to A, because E is the identity. Identity axiom I have applied. Again, E dash is also identity. So, A into E dash is equal to E dash into A is equal to A. Clear? Because E is the identity, E dash is also the identity. So, right hand side are same. So, I can take this one equal to this one, or this one equal to this one. So, don't take this one to this one. You cannot do anything. No conclusion will be obtained. So, this one is equal to this one. That means A dot E is equal to A dot E dash. So, by left cancellation, A can be removed. I have already proved here. So, E is equal to E dash by left cancellation law. Okay. So, identity element is unique. Okay. So, let us prove it another way. You see, I have already told you existence of identity. Existence of identity means E and E dash must be the elements of G. Must be the elements of G, not G dash. G dash is complement of G. Clear? So, since E belongs to G and E dash belongs to G, so now E is the identity, E dash is the element. E dot E dash. E is the identity. I am taking E is the identity, and remember E dash is the element of G. not the identity. I am now taking E is the identity. So E dot E dash must be equal to E dash. Clear or not? E is the identity and E dash is the element of G. So E dot E dash must be equal to E dash, because E dot A is equal to A. So E dot E dash is equal to E dash. Again E dot E dash. Now E dash is the identity, E is the element. I have told you E and E dash are the elements of G. Clear? So if E dash is the identity and E is the element of G, then A dot E is equal to E. So similarly E dot E dash is equal to E, because E dash is the identity. So when it is multiplied to any other A, it will become A. So E dash into E is equal to E. So left hand sides are same. Clear? So right hand side must be equal. Therefore E is equal to E dash. Hence our proof is done. Clear? So you can do by any means. I have done in two ways. So either you can do in the first method or you can do in the second method. Clear? So the second one, uniqueness of inverse. Uniqueness of inverse element. So that means if A is an element of G, if A is any element of the group G, then its inverse is unique. So very interesting. See here, let A belongs to G and B and C are two inverse elements of A. A is any element of G and you have to prove its inverse is unique. Let B and C be two inverse elements of A. So finally you have to prove B is equal to C. Clear? Now let E be the identity. Clear? So B is the inverse of A. So according to property, inverse axiom, A dot B is equal to B dot A is equal to E. A dot B is equal to B dot A is equal to E. Again C is the inverse of A. So A dot C is equal to C dot A is equal to E. And now what is your aim? Your aim is to prove B is equal to C. Now start from B. Now B is equal, I can write B dot E. I can write because E is the identity. So in place of E, I can write SC, B dot SC, because SC is equal to A dot C is equal to E. Clear? So again apply the associative property, because in the group theory associative property is there. So B dot A dot C and B dot A, what is B dot A? E dot C, which is equal to C. So hence we have proved B is equal to C. So the inverse axiom is, so the inverse element is unique. Clear? So simple. You have to, I have told you, you have to write it a systematic way. Simply it takes 1 minute, or it may say less than 1 minute. Clear? So you should be very thorough with the definitions. Very thorough with the definitions. Otherwise you cannot prove anything. Clear? Now another one, reversal law, or you may write sucks and shoe property. For all AB belongs to G, inverse of AB is equal to B inverse A inverse. AB to the power minus 1 is equal to, that means inverse of AB is equal to B inverse A inverse. You are writing in the reverse manner. That is why this law is called reversal law. Or you may write sucks and shoe property. Why you are writing sucks and shoe property? Inverse means you have to open or remove. While you are wearing socks and shoe, first remember, first you are wearing socks and then shoe. This is the socks, this is shoe. Okay, first you are putting your socks and you are putting your shoe. The inverse means you have to open now. You have to remove socks and shoe from your leg or from your foot. So first of all, now tell me, first of all, you have to remove your shoe. While removing, you have to first remove your shoe. So remove, inverse means remove. So remove your socks and shoe. While you have put your socks and shoe, first you have put your socks, then you have put your shoe. Then inverse means remove. Clear? So remove your shoe first, then remove your socks. While putting, you are putting first socks and then shoe, but while removing, you have to first remove your shoe and then your socks. So this is the property. Clear? So how to prove this one? Very interesting. Actually, remember the definition. If A into B is equal to B into A is equal to identity, then B is the inverse of A. That means A inverse is equal to B. If A into B is equal to B into A is equal to E, then B is the inverse of A. B is the inverse of A. B is the inverse of A. So again remember, from this to this, if A inverse is equal to B, then A into B is equal to B into A is equal to E. Now you have to prove AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse A inverse. That means here inverse of A is equal to B means A into B is equal to B into A is equal to E. Clear? Here inverse of AB, that means AB into B inverse A inverse is equal to B inverse A inverse into AB must be equal to E. Clear? If you prove this one, then this can be proved. There is nothing. Clear? Simply see here. Within 1 or 2 minutes I will do it. First part. Now AB into B inverse A inverse must be equal to E. I have to prove it E. Apply associative property. B into B inverse into A inverse. I have applied the associative property. I am combining B with the second part. So A, again apply the associative property. B into B inverse into A inverse. A. And what is B into B inverse? It is the identity. Clear? E into A inverse. Is that clear to you? Again, identity into any element must be equal to any element. Identity into A inverse must be equal to A inverse by identity property. So A into A inverse. Now what is A into A inverse? It is identity E. Clear? Now the second part. Second part is B inverse A inverse into a B. Again apply the associative property. Either you can combine A with this one or A inverse with this one. Anything. Clear? So B inverse A inverse into a B. You can write like this also. B inverse. Again apply the associative property. A inverse A into B. Again B inverse. A inverse into A. It is identity element. Clear? So E into B. Again by identity property, E into B is equal to B. So B inverse into B. Again B inverse into B is identity. Hence proved. That means a B into B inverse A inverse is equal to B inverse A inverse into a B is equal to E. That means X into Y is equal to Y into X is equal to E. So Y is the inverse of A. X. Y is the inverse of X. That means AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse A inverse. Hence your theorem is proved. Very simple actually. And very interesting topic. I have first told you that this topic will be very interesting to you if you will remember the definitions only. Okay, so try to remember these theorems so that in the next class you can do very well. Okay, so thank you. Bye bye.